So today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why your funnel might be leaking. And this will be like a 5-second brain test you can use to make sure why stuff is leaking and what you can do to stop it from leaking, basically. So this is going to be quite straightforward, just to show you my whole flow. And everything usually happens because of psychology. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to quickly show you. So basically what you get, we all know you get your funnel. So it's your three funnels, and this is your top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. But I don't see it like this, because when someone lands on your website, this is the whole process, yes, but you literally have 5 seconds for them to actually make sure this is what they want. What will you be able to help them with? Is there enough trust on this? Does it have emotional aspect to it? So this is going to be the big focus. To be able to, within 5 seconds, your funnel needs to do the work. So it's basically a 5-second judgment. So what you get is you get your system 1 thinking and your system 2 thinking. Now this is the brain. This is basically the logic side. No, I mean, it's the other way around. This is system 2 is your logic side and system 1 is your emotional side. Now people react and make decisions based off emotion, so that's going to be the focus. And then they justify that emotion with logic, and that's why, and then you get the sale. So that is basically, in a nutshell, the process that we want to follow. So by looking at this in a new light, here's the funnel again, but it's not top, middle and bottom. It's basically, the top is the 5-second judgment, the middle is the contrast decision, and the bottom one is the risk filter. Now this is the new way to look at it, because like I said, you've got 5 seconds to make an impact, whether that's your content. It starts off with your content, then it moves onto the landing page, your website, and then it moves onto the sale. But you've got 5 seconds to really make an impact. Are you talking to the correct audience? Is this what you actually want? Is everything set up in as most layman terms as possible? This is where this happens. Then it's the contrast decision. Now you get you've got a few things happening over here. So basically with this one is your brain decides within 5 seconds if you're worth the attention. It scans for simplicity, clarity and relevance. And this is also where ugly websites, broken funnels, confusing offers and weak hooks, this is where they usually get thrown into the dustbin. So this is where the power is at here. Then the contrast layer. This is basically also three boxes. So within your three box funnel, your top, middle, bottom, your 5-second judgment, your contrast decision, your risk filter, you also get another 3 boxes within your contrast decision. Box A is your offer. Box B is their last bad experience, and then box C is your competitor's promise. So because the thing is with this, with contrast decision, is people always compare, like always. Even if they say they don't, they compare. That's just how our human nature works. That's just how we are designed. We love to compare ourselves with others. And then this is why positioning and differentiation matters. And if you don't shape the contrast, they'll compare you to the wrong thing. So it's better, let's take for example, you've got 2 doctors. One doctor says there's a 90% survival rate. The other doctor says there's a 10% death rate. Now, in conclusion, they're both exactly the same. But which one would you rather go for? The 90% survival rate, because the 10% death rate doesn't sound as good. It sounds scary. You don't want to do that. That's why it's so important to understand contrast. And like I said, within the contrast definition, you gotta keep that stuff in mind. With your offer, their last bad experience, as well as the competitor's promise. And then lastly, it's the risk filter. Now, the risk filter is basically a shield. Yeah, I can't draw. That's why I'm not. Yeah. So basically, your last one is a shield. So that looks kind of better. Even when they like you, like doesn't matter. You could be like the most charming, most handsome guy out there. Even when they like you, humans think, will I lose my money? Will I look stupid? And will this waste my time? That's how our humans think, because we are tend to be more focused on what we might lose out of this as to what we might gain. So that's how we think, and we must keep that in mind, because with step 3, the risk filter is literally a shield. They are shielding themselves because they don't want to get hurt. They don't want to lose something. So this is where we need to focus on guarantees, demos, clear next steps. We need to really be clear as hell. We need to be a see-through window, because if we're not, you're never gonna get what you want to get. Holy shit, this really looks like an ear. This actually bothers me. Let's just focus on what we should. So yeah, this is where that is quite crucial, because if we don't focus on that, and we don't focus on the risks, then we might as well just give up, because that is important. That's why stuff like free trials works, because with a free trial, once someone tastes something, they're gonna want more of it if it works. So this is really the most crucial part in all of them. Everything works together, but so every one of them needs to have their certain aspects, but the real focus really is on all of them. But at the end of the day, the risk is going to make the break. It doesn't matter if your 5-second judgment is perfect, your contrast decision is perfect, your offer, you've done your competitor analysis and all of that, but your risk filter isn't there. Their shield is up. You need to get through that shield. So every sale is basically a risk removal exercise. That's what it is. For example, I promise to get you 10 leads in the next 30 days. Otherwise, I give you your money back. That's a good risk reversal. And as you go through this journey, you'll actually understand and see that a lot of people are using this, but also not in the correct way. You really need to understand contrasting, because that is where everything changes. Although contrast decision is in the middle step, this involves contrast, this involves contrast, and this involves contrast. It's all about how you frame it. So the climax of this is, the big climax is, people really don't buy when the offer is good. They buy when the risk feels low. This is better than a good offer. Because like I said, people tend to be afraid to lose something more than they're excited to gain something else. The risk, the losses, it hits harder. So that at the end of the day, that's what we need to focus on. So really hope this helps someone see this out of a new perspective, because this is crucial. Whether you're designing funnels and you really want to get your product or your service out there, this is what's going to shape everything else around you. So focus on this, and please let me know in the comments if this helps you in any way. It really helps me as a creator understand what you guys are interested on, and what I can help and do to help you out. So thanks again. So if you love this, don't hesitate to click that like button, subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and just go crush it. Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. Keep it short. The most problems comes in when you start overthinking it.